What United Way LINC is a free and confidential telephone service for Lancaster County residents that matches folks to the services that are available, the community resources that are available here in Lancaster. By calling our number, 291-5462, we can alleviate that frustration of wading through all of those numbers and that whole bureaucracy of the Health and Human Services system that, we're fortunate we have lots of services here, but when you're in need and you're stressed and having a difficult time of it, it's really hard to wade through that system. So having a place to call that helps you find that right number, that appropriate service, is really valuable. So with the United Way LINC, it's the only number that you ever really need to remember when you need help. 291-5462. It's really easy, and to just call that number. We're available 24/7. You'll speak to a live person. We have United Way staff, LINC staff, that do man the phones during our normal business hours, 7 to 6:30. After hours, we do have a communication center that fields those calls. Some of the top problems and needs that we get calls about would obviously be your basic needs, which includes housing assistance, shelter, food, employment issues, child care issues, legal matters, and also just, kind of consumer type information, looking for help with utility bills, just that whole gamut of anything you could possibly think of that falls into Health and Human Services. One that stood out for me, because I took the call personally, I do have a staff of 3 other folks in the LINC office, but it was an elderly woman who lived in one of the rural communities, and she was on a fixed income, had an apartment that she was just barely making it with her fixed income, and obviously her rent kept going up. So we talked at length about her situation and what possibly she could do to alleviate some of the stress on her finances. We looked at 2 different things, short and long term. Long term would be I was able to send her a list of different affordable housing communities, some of which are actually based on a person's income, which she could apply for, and then her rent would be significantly reduced based on the low income that she had. However, some of those apartments have very long waiting lists, so that was more of a long-term solution. Right. So what I talked with her a little bit more about is, well, what can we do now? What can we do to help you right now? We have a large database at LINC of all the different resources in the community, and so I started looking for some other things. We zeroed in on perhaps helping her with her food bill. There's lots of food security programs as far as food banks, right, free meals. There's also a program where you can purchase a food box at a very, very low cost, and there's specifically a box just for senior citizens. Okay. So she was very excited about that news. Also, I'm not sure why, but had never applied for the property rent rebate forms. Okay. And I was able to help her with that application, and that's an annual amount that she can apply for every year to reduce some of her costs. And also, again, she had never applied for utility assistance. Okay. So all of this knowledge that I was sharing with her was just amazing to her, that she had never heard or looked into these resources. And so we were able to, find her some short-term solutions and then a long-term solution also. The phone number is 291-5462, or you can remember it, 291-LINC, LINC. Remember the C, LINC. That's how LINC is spelled. Okay. And then it translates to 5462. So 291-5462. We're in the white pages of the telephone book. We're also in the Guide to Human Services section of the telephone directory.